Many thanks to DayZ Podcast, Pandemonium, Lion Loss and Wolves of DayZ for making this video possible. DayZ Update 1.19 has just been released to experimental, so I'm going to be checking out all of the vehicle changes and finally check out that deep dark bunker. First off, we're going to be looking at the new Humvee and get a taste of that new vehicle simulation 2. The Humvee is the first military vehicle we've had in vanilla, and while it is mentioned to be a multi-purpose vehicle, that's just the name of this vehicle, so the vehicle is a lot like other vehicles in DayZ. However, unlike the V3S, this vehicle requires the new glow plug to work and has freaking bulletproof glass. Sadly though, a lot of the metal parts are not bulletproof and the vehicle assembly is very similar to other vehicles in DayZ, with 4 players sitting in the Humvee and there is no central gunner position, so you cannot shoot from this vehicle. At full speed it gets to around 150 km per hour, which is absolutely crazy and handles very good off-road, likely spawning in military areas both on Chernarus and Livonia. It feels superb to drive and it somehow sticks to the road until it no longer does. Which brings us to the meat of this update, vehicle stabilization, which is a question on everybody's mind right now. Are vehicles stable enough to drive them around? Are they worth putting together? And I can't answer that because that would require a lot of people on a server with mods and loads of bases around. I don't have the testing environment to do that. I'm sure we will find out soon enough though. Regardless, vehicles feel incredible to drive now, feeling much more how a vehicle should drive in a game, and crashing is much less punishing at slow speeds. It doesn't do crazy stuff, it feels like it should feel. It feels smooth, it feels responsive, within limitations of course. This is how cars should feel in a game. Vehicles can now be repaired with a blowtorch instead of the pipe wrench, but this only works below the worn quality level, so you can only repair it up to the worn quality level. And the blowtorch works a lot like the gas stove. You attach the gas canisters to it and they burn out over time. Also, shooting the fuel cap or the fuel tank of a vehicle would destroy it completely with no explosion seen, with a fuel tank being repairable. All optics can apparently be repaired with the electronic repair kit, but it didn't work for me. I tried the binoculars, I tried the PU scope, I tried the x6 ACOG, I couldn't get it to repair. And I don't understand how you can fix glass anyway with an electronic repair kit, so maybe I'm missing something here. The SSG-82 has been added with its 5-round mag, spawning in police locations, working a lot like the Pioneer, but having a fixed optic instead. The BK-12 has been added too, which is a single-shot shotgun, which I believe replaces the ISA-18 because it spawns under the same name in the admin panel, meaning that the BK-18 may have been removed from DayZ, but I'm not certain of that. As you may already know, thrown items make sound now, and it appears that all items in DayZ will make sounds when you throw them or put them on the floor, with grenades having that distinctive thud sound to it like in Tarkov. A punch card has been added and opens the new bunker very slowly and very dramatically. I like this a lot, allowing you to explore this spooky, dark, underground area, which I'll show later in this video. It's located at Dambog, just north of where I predicted it would be, which means I was almost right, but you cannot target towns with gas attacks inside. They've also made loads of other changes to the Livonian map, which I will cover in another video in a lot of detail, because there is so much that has changed. The plate carrier now comes in different colours, camo, black and green, with corresponding attachments coming in the same new colours too. Apparently we get slowed down when we go uphill or down here, but I didn't notice any differences here. Maybe you need super steep hills for this to work. And one thing that did feel very different is the sprinting and changing direction, or just sprinting in general. There's a lack of responsiveness with it, like there's an inertia in there now, so zigzagging is much more difficult. In fact, I'd say it's non-existent right now. It's kind of like our characters are in 2 feet of water. When you try to move your body weight quickly, there's a slow response to it. You have to try it to know what I mean though. Speaking of which, our characters move slower in water, which has a very cool reflection to it now, but I couldn't get myself to drown like it says in the patch notes, other than the uncon death after 20 seconds like in 1.18. Our characters now slide off of edges instead of being thrown forward like in 1.18, which feels much better, but this does look kind of goofy on some objects. Items now spawn frequently in the damaged state, but you'll be happy to know that weapons jam half as much now. A spare wheel slot has been added to the Gunter, Sedan and the Saka, which gets placed in the trunk of the vehicle. Crafted with no tools and 1 rag, I played around with the eye patch, but I have no idea what its use is yet, apart from blocking your vision slightly. In my last video I spoke about the GPS receiver. Here it is on the map with a compass. Both compasses work with this by the way, and it shows your direction that you're facing. An ignited torch or broom will now get extinguished when you go swimming, but the rain still doesn't extinguish it. M79 smoke rounds now deal a lot of damage, probably around 110 health damage, so this will one-shot unprotected players now, be careful of this, and the flare gun now does damage too. The devs I've played around with are immune systems again, just like at the start of this year, so I need to make a video on that. Don't assume you're safe drinking water for now though. Humvee rakes now have a new model to correspond with the new Humvee that we've been given. Hannah's backpack has been added and is simply awesome for a skin on the hunting backpack, but it doesn't seem to do anything different stat wise, and the tape cannot be taken off, and this tape cannot be put into any sort of tape player. We don't have any tape players in DayZ at the moment. I checked the mine entrances that had the Yellow King logo on, and the logo has been removed, but you still cannot enter these bunkers, so I believe there's only one bunker in DayZ at the moment. And finally, a new sound has been added to the gas pump explosions, still doing low damage to players though. Now I haven't covered everything in this patch. You can see the patch notes here because I did the rest yesterday in a video. You can check that video out here, so I'd recommend giving that a watch if you haven't seen it. And the final part of this video is going to be me exploring all of the parts of the new bunker with a flashlight because it's very dark down there. Thank you very much for watching, and the last part of this video is completely unedited.